Om Shanti. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Follow the Father at every step. Father Brahma wants to see a smile of spirituality on each child's face. Secondly, he wants to hear sweet words coming from your lips. Let not a single word be without sweetness. Let there be spirituality on your face, sweetness in your words, and constant good wishes in your mind and intellect. Have the feelings of a merciful bestower and follow the Father at every step. Give the return of this sustenance. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 21. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Today's topic: follow the Father at every step. Pass with honor, waste thought, feeling unappreciated in service. Spiritual power to finish waste thought, power of contentment. Baba's magic mantra. Sweet, sweet child, after 5,000 years, Bab Dada has found you. The child who had become separated. He has to give you the love that has accumulated over 5,000 years. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti is the greetings of peace and love to everyone. It's a family, worldwide family. So some ask, why do we call it a Vyakti family, a Vyakti Parivar? Because soul is in the body, and when soul is in the body, we call it Vyakt, physical. But then when there is soul consciousness, then we look at everyone as souls, as brothers. In the body, we are brothers and sisters and children of one Father. So it's a worldwide family name. But those who recognize that as soul, what I have to be angelic, very spiritual, because now there is body consciousness, and in body consciousness, there is no spirituality. There might be some practices, there might be worshipping, there might be some kind of faith, but then without spirituality, we cannot really have that relationship with each other as souls, as brothers. So the one of the most important quality of God. Of course, there are unlimited qualities and also in an unlimited way, because we always call God as ocean, ocean of love, ocean of knowledge, and also a bestower. Because He bestows and we receive, and that's why we sing His praise and say that you are ocean of knowledge, you are ocean of love. And as Baba's children, God's children, we have to be like Father. And when we hear this, I have to be like Father, sometimes we feel, oh, it's such a high goal. It's really difficult. But then as we are children, children always inherit some of the qualities. There is similarity sometimes in a physical way. Face looks like mother or father. The way we speak, many things are like parents in a very natural way. In the same way, I always feel, and I'm sure if you also think in a way, that being children, we have a likeness, we are similar. It's only I have to know myself, recognize, and maintain that relationship of father and child as parents and children. So if we have that awareness, then I will be definitely like Baba, means master ocean of knowledge, master ocean of love. And it's true that as soon as we receive, we want to distribute, we want to donate, we want to share with others. Like in Lokik way, if your father is a judge or a lawyer or engineer, how many times during day you say, my father is a lawyer, right? My father is this. My father said this. How naturally, not only we remember, but we become aware of our clan. If my father is judge or my father is police inspector, whatever it is, it's like you always remember that I belong to the father who has this profession or status. So same is like our Godfather. But then when Baba comes, Shiv Baba, Godfather, comes in a human form, that is enter into the body of Brahma Baba, then we follow what God is, and when He is in a human being, then what He does, or what changes come in Brahma Baba, or one who becomes the medium or instrument. And it's for us easy to follow what God's directions were, how we should live, what are the principles and teachings, everything He does, Brahma Baba, in practical. So Baba is giving us homework to follow Father. So naturally the question arises, which Father? And I will say both. But to be in practical, to be in action like Father, we have to follow the instrument, the medium, Brahma Baba. So our churning, our practice, and our aim for whole day as homework is do every action, whether it's thinking, whether it's speaking, whether it's relationship, like Father. So Brahma Baba was humble and very sweet and very unique. His face was very spiritual, always cheerful, always cheerful. So many difficulties, obstacles, or big tasks, whatever comes in front of him, he was very, not only cheerful, you could see a big smile on his face. They say it's easy to laugh, but difficult to smile, right? because smile is coming from your deep feelings inside, your experience from within, and that what brings smile or happiness. So Baba is saying that Father Brahma Father Brahma wants to see a smile of spirituality on each child's face. So you all can smile now, right? Smile of spirituality on your face. Huh? Try for a moment how you feel. Because some don't smile ever. I have seen them that and they think I'm in yoga, so I'm serious, I'm introvert. But if you are introvert, you definitely will be very, very cheerful. So Baba says, secondly, Baba wants to hear what he wants to hear, the sweet words. Not some are very critical. They always find something to correct you, to criticize you, say things which are not pleasant. Appreciation, looking at people's speciality, and speaking about that could help other souls. So if you are cheerful, if you are smiling, then you want others also to smile. And sweet words. Words have a lot to do with one's own life. So Baba says, sweet words coming from your lips. Baba says, let not a single word will without sweetness. And that is why people use how sweet it is, how lovely it is, right? Mm. And we always say, how is it? How is it? Right? Lovely it is, sweet it is. So let there be spirituality on your face. We use one word called alaukik, not ordinary face, not face of body consciousness. Spirituality on your face and sweetness in your words. And Baba says then, constant, and also uh, Baba wants smile, but also what he wants is constant, not sometimes, not once in a while, but constantly good wishes in your mind. Face spiritual, words sweet, and Baba says good wishes in your heart, in your mind, and intellect. Because intellectually also, if you are good in something, then we keep criticizing our expectation from others. So that makes us very, very critical. And critical mind and intellect makes you very frustrated, very tired. But if you have words of sweetness and spirituality, you are a tireless person. So Baba says that have the feelings of mm, merciful. So Baba says that you have to be bestower and follow the Father at every step. Because one step of your own mind and one of Baba doesn't work. And that's why Baba uses word every step. The Father, Baba says, give the return of what you receive as sustenance to others also. That's the return. That means spirituality, sweetness, good wishes, cheerfulness. This is what Baba wants to see us and we have to follow our Father, because I can say 100% true that that's what Brahma Baba was, very spiritual. Mm. Even the cheerfulness was not like ordinary, but it has big, big spiritual attraction. Very sweet in words, and always good wishes in his mind and intellect. So we all will have determination, churn, reflect, practice for whole day, how to follow Father. Om Shanti.
Hello, Didi.
Hello, Vodiben. You after
Welcome.
long.
After a long time, but welcome back.
Thank you.
I watched yesterday, and early in the day, I saw it before Avyakti Parivar. So my question was, is Didi going to come on this evening? I know how most of the rest of us are when we come back from India. It's a long journey. We might be younger, might be healthier. So I have to say, your wonder, Baba's wonder, that you were there yesterday and as always looking fresh. And this thing of going beyond capacity. And I was wondering, what makes you go beyond capacity? I know you were saying earlier about being tireless, because I was thinking that if you make an excuse, then we have permission to make 3 excuses. Do you do it because you know how it's going to impact everyone else?
I think that it is the love of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find that when I hear some souls, we had been, spiritual love and, good, they just send so much good wishes. Everyone in the heart should have good journey, everything should be okay. And I know there was little bit anxiety, and everyone was, oh, such a long journey, flights have been long, this is this, a lot of that. But, I feel it's the family's love and good wishes which gives me the strength, and not only strength, but there is a pull that, oh, they are waiting, I have to be with the family, I haven't seen them for 2, 3 days, and, this whole pull is there to be. And I think that energy and that love which pulls me to be present. So, of course, it's Baba's, and I always feel Dadi Janki and other Dadis, their blessings that I had really, really, I should say, a wonderful trip. I didn't feel that it is 4, 5 hours extra. Generally, it's 15 hours, 14 direct flight. But now, because we come via Rome, longer route, so it takes about 20 hours in the plane plus door to door, extra few hours. But also the welcome, and again the love of the family, which really gives me lot of power and a pull to be present. So it's not effort, but it's what I receive from everyone. So I feel like, oh, I want to meet, I want to be there.
Wow. Oh, I was quite amazed, actually. And so this, you were saying earlier on about Brahma Baba and being 100%. So we all know that, for us, Brahma Baba was always 100%, when we hear the stories. And yet, you in front of us, we see you moving, and so could you say how close you are to that 100%? Because we have seen even more than for our own selves, but we've seen how you have increased your capacity. Not that there was ever the thought that you lacked capacity, but we have seen it increase And so you must sometimes question yourself, how close am I to the 100%, the state of completion?
Mm. I think that in a very simple way, uh, I remember that when we got Peace Village and I had keys in my hand and Dadi Prakashvani came for inauguration and I gave her keys and I said, Dadi, give this key whom you think can take care of Peace Village. And Dadi looked at me, she said, wait, because I trust that you always complete your work. You take full responsibility when we are given any task to you in these years. And in that trust, we got the place and we gave you back the key. And kind of, sense of responsibility or, but then the trust of Dadi and the words she spoke definitely was like great power for me. But I think word complete is that do what you have to do in a full way, proper way, and complete the task. I remember Dadi Gulzar when we were young. Once she took a class, I must be very 22, 23. And we used to go to Pandavavan in Delhi to be teachers, to meet Dadi Gulzar. And she said a good teacher is one who passes all the difficulties and make things happen and complete the task. She said initially, when you are given a task, you are happy, enthusiastic, but when the real difficulties and lot of things come on the way, and a good teacher is one who is able to pass with honor, continue, and not, you know, find anything impossible or difficult. And I always remember that. So I think completing whatever, whether you are doing it or you are have a aim to do, whether it is spiritual or physical, gives us this quality of 100%. So I
Mm.
think what one has to do is to look at one's own self,
Yeah.
that how do I do with determination, with willpower, with everyone's good wishes, but I do accomplish. So that's like 100%. That's like becoming complete. So you can do it in the simple things, you can do it in a larger way, whatever way, but I must complete it. I must do it. That's 100%, right?
Well, that's you've made the determination, I must complete it. But sometimes there might even be self-doubt in getting started, like you're asked to do something, or could be some type of service, or deal with a situation, and you may not feel that
Mhm.
you have the capacity to do it. And yet, because you're obedient, one is obedient or whatever, and so you begin even with a lack of self-confidence, and then you get Baba's help. But my sense is that you don't need to ask for Baba's help. Something you said in Madhaban in one of your classes I liked a lot. You said, because I have a lot of responsibilities, I have to be more responsible for myself. And
Yeah.
so do you ever need to ask Baba for anything? You just, he's given you all powers.
Mhm.
And and yet you will never say you did it.
No, see, when I, was given the task and Baba made me nimit or instrument, of course, Baba has chosen, let's do it. But what I find that every eyes are looking at me differently. And I said, wow, what, they keep reminding me, you are the chief, you are this, you are this, through words, through eyes. And I said, oh my goodness, now. I have to become aware what I am, which I was, okay. I mean, I had been playing this kind of role for whole life, but it's like they made me keep aware that that's what you are, sign this way, do this way. That's you should be, some remind me, some appreciate. And I think that awareness which got created in me made me feel what people are looking for now. They are looking for God's love. They are looking for, whatever Baba's teachings are in the practical life. And the attention goes on self efforts. I wake up and I remember Dadi Prakashmani used to say, Baba, today both of us together will take care of this yagya.
Yeah.
And I remember her words, and I wake up in the morning and I said, I am ready, whatever I could do for yagya, I'm willing. So I think, as I said, that you become more responsible yourself because you have to be inspiration, you have to be guide, you have to be, source of help, support, whatever needed by the souls. But then if I have, then only I can give, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to be natural,
Yeah.
but as I said, people keep reminding me. But even then, I enjoy just being natural and, of course, attention on, as Baba says, returning what I have received from Baba.
So you
But it,
wouldn't, anything that you would ask Baba for, maybe you can ask Baba about something, but do you ask him for anything? Do you ever say, as some people might, Baba, help me in this situation or whatever? Do you ever? I wouldn't
no,
think so. No,
I
no.
no, I have feeling that he will help because it is his task. Like when I was about to travel, there were so many people. It's long travel. It's like this these days. I said, well, if I have to go, I have to go. And inside, I know Baba will help. Not that I ask. Honestly, I never ask Baba.
No, I wouldn't think so. So at one
Yeah.
level, could,
But I know in my
yeah,
heart, He's there for me. He's with
right,
me because I am going for His task, not
yeah,
my tourism or it's my
right.
interest to be in any country. Well,
But
Baba wants, and it was really, really didn't feel trip was long. I slept a lot, and so it was really a very pleasant trip. So that means
it's
you don't have to ask Baba, but He's there for us.
right. But could you also say, in a kind of a way, that even while you are achieving and increasing your capacity, he already knows your capacity, and so why would he interfere by just helping you and when really allowing you to do it by yourself, like a parent has to allow the child to walk by themselves, run by themselves, or whatever. So could you say at some level he knows your capacity,
Mhm.
even when you haven't fully realized it, because you can only fully realize it at the absolute end, no?
There are two things, no? It's very interesting, the Murli this morning of four types of faith, right?
Yes,
And
yeah.
that's what faith is really power and brings victory, brings courage. So this morning, the Murli it was yesterday, right?
Yesterday.
That faith in Baba, then self, and then drama, and also in the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that faith is a great power.
Yeah.
And I think that you remain unshakable when there is faith because you know that Baba is with you. And I also find drama very friendly. Even sometimes there are certain situations which, it's like keeping to your principles,
Mm-hmm.
keeping to your qualities. It's not we don't have. I mean, let's say you have a person who is very closely working together, but has one habit of changing mind very quickly, saying things which you say, but 1 hour before you said this,
Yeah.
and now how can you change it? But that's the nature, that's the habit, or whatever. But my love and the trust has to continue because it's very, very important for that soul and for me to maintain this love and trust. So you could be shaken by emotionally by thinking that how can this be? But that's the habit or sanskar of that soul. And I remember once I was very young Brahmin, Nirmal Shanta Dadi. Someone went to Dadi and said, so and so is like that. So Dadi said, so now you know her, no? She said, yes. Then what's there? When you didn't know, then it matters. And I remember those words. I always say, now I know this person is like that. Not next time. How can that be? I don't have question. I know this is like that. So my trust, my reliability, or I believe, but knowing that person and still not looking at that weakness
Mhm.
of that, because that's how that person is. But how to be careful and how to be still trusting and loving, but also careful because I don't want to be deceived. I don't want to feel emotionally shaken by, but how can this person do that, right? And it's not doing, but doing to you too because it's the habit. So I think that one really start learning and capacity in the sense of being unshakable. And now I know what is unshakable is when very closely people work, but they have their own way or their interest or their importance, and you manage with everything in the sense of, but I have to be what I am. I want
Right.
to, that's, I make sure that it is.
Yes, yes.
And that's what I meant self responsibility more than responsibility of others.
Yeah. Responsibility. The two quick things in learning, and having faith in the family, the Brahmin family. I presume that also helps us when it comes to the Lokic family. That we practice on the Brahmin family, and then it extends to the Lokic family or people who are not Brahmins. And then the other thing, which and I'm a little aware of the time, is it true what they say that ultimately it is the family who gives you your number?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, uh, I was brought up with dadis, and when they were young, and they were not dadis, and I saw
Mm.
their, oh, from the age of 35, when they were 35, all of them, when I met them first, almost 70 years ago. It leaves a very, very big impact. But also, what Baba and Dadi used to appreciate is what I am because of also my Lokik family.
Mm-hmm.
Because lot of values which I learned traditional to be in extended family, because we were 40 members when we, after partition, we all lived together. And then as children grew, they went on their own way, bought their houses, had their good jobs. But we had so many little, little things taught by grandparents, by parents, by uncle, aunties. And so all that richness one comes with, like respecting others,
Yeah.
talking with love and real love, as love, because that's what you receive. And then when I came, really, Baba used to love me because he had not to tell me little, little things which others were to be told. And looking at that, I am a person of principles, values, and because that's what I learned a lot from my Lokik family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, I respect, and I tell everyone, recently, um, many, many BKs surrendered. Their mother is sick or father is sick, and especially for boys, they are supposed to be more for parents and present, and now they are surrendered. And so somebody was asking, I was there and few others, that my mother is not well. And I was surprised, very happy when Dr. Pratap, one of the main person in Global Hospital, told him, no, your father and mother, they have done so much for you. You must go take care of them. And then I gave example that when Brahma Baba's Lokik wife, Jasota, she was in Bombay and her body was not well with age and all that. And Baba sent Nirmal Shanta Dadi to take care of her. And she left body in Nirmal Shanta Dadi's lap.
Oh,
Because this love or what they have given to us, not that I just go and sit there, but whenever there is need, then you become helpful. So I think that way, uh, Lokik, Alaukik, even with whether they are neighbors, whether you meet them in the flight or
mm,
so it's in a way there is some relationship, something everywhere.
yeah.
And when I meet all the crew members, all the air hostesses in the flight, and one, she maybe it was second time she was with me in the flight, and some or other I don't know, Bhumi Ben will, she just comes to me every time. Oh, you are so cute, and you are so, and I keep telling her why, and she will hold my hand, cutie, and I'm not used to all this, right?
Yeah.
But she will just come near me like a little child, and oh, then she will say, oh, I didn't forget you, but you please, next time I meet you, you should recognize that I am traveling third time with you.
Oh my
You
God.
know, like in a very Lokik way, she
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
But, so I think that all the souls of the world, in a way, connected with you in some way or other. Whether you have your pilots in the flight, whether you have, whosoever it is. It's very, very interesting to look at people and the relationships
It
get
is.
created. Yeah.
It's fascinating. So, in terms of getting a number from the family,
Mm.
if you have a very small family, is it kind of proportionate? There's some they never meet the international family. They only know a few Brahmins, and so, as I say, is it a ratio or um, and what is that thing that the family, yeah, the family decides
Yeah,
you're not.
family in
Mm,
India is growing so much.
I know. Yeah.
When you are walking in 20,000 people, you cannot, all the roads are full in Shantivan, 22,000 during Dadi Gulzar's day. And then they all have to eat. It has to be 3 meals and snacks, and amazingly how everything runs there, and more appreciation for commitment of people who cook every day for 30 years, 40 years they had been cooking for everyone, whatever duties they do. I really, really from my heart appreciate, especially the brothers. As I said, they are
Mhm.
boys are considered to be the main resource within the family. And
Yes.
so,
Interesting.
yeah, I really, really have a lot of love for everyone,
Yeah.
and it's a
The
big unlimited,
generosity, I suppose that's
mm,
the answer really, is
largest family in the world
the
is BK family.
generous heart. Yeah, no other religions speak about,
No,
as Baba said yesterday, I think it was, they're
I
followers. They're not
I
family,
always
they're
say
followers.
that the, governor from one of the state came to visit. Last day we were
Yeah.
leaving next day, so he came and I said, this is a family oriented organization. It's like Body Shop, right? Body Shop is also a family. there is one airline I am not remembering. One time there was like family-oriented companies and how they do
That's
well,
right.
and,
Yeah.
so there were certain names.
Mm-hmm.
So I always, like Ramesh Bhai also said, that we all are volunteers. We give our time, we give our whole life. If we have to be paid, then we have to give salary, then bonus, then holidays. He said the organization wouldn't have been able to continue. But because it's family, I don't see I've already done 10 hours.
Yes.
Sometimes it's so many hours, sometimes even late nights. So I think this family is really the richness of this family, this
Yeah.
organization. Yeah.
They all have that idealism. Yeah. It takes them beyond needing salaries or um, promotion, right? Thank you so much, Didi. And again, big welcome
Yeah.
back. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing you next month.
Mm. Yeah. Lovely to be with you. Om
Okay,
Shanti.
Didi. Om
Okay.
Shanti.
Thank Om Shanti.